When you're ready.
Perfect. I decided to research using the ethical and futuristic lens to answer the following question. Should animal experimentation be used in scientific research? Animal testing is using a variety of animal species to conduct various biomedical and scientific experiments. After conducting said research, I concluded that animal testing is an unethical way to develop new medicines and cosmetics, and will eventually not rely on the help of advancing technology. Cosmetic companies frequently develop and test new products on their animals. They say utilizing animals for the study is more cost-effective option than using other techniques, and that the DNA of animals is most similar to that of in humans. Therefore, it makes sense that it would be best for humans to use animals for their studies, right? Wrong. Yes, we do have similar DNA, but studies show that animals don't accurately depict the effects when given to humans. Also, since businesses can already develop novel products using hundreds of ingredients that have a history of safe use and don't need any further testing, the United States Society describes animal testing as cruel and pointless, demonstrating how businesses continue to employ this cruel kind of testing, although it is unnecessary, to make the products appear innovative and unlike any other. Not to add that the phrase cosmetics, used in a broad sense, encompasses both makeup and skincare items, making its products not medically necessary. I want to now dive deeper into what it's like of a lab animal. Even as I was creating this slide and trying to add insightful and informational pictures to it, I was unable, because seeing the wide variety of harm done to these animals caused me to feel like adding truthful pictures was impossible. Truly, that should be the first red flag when talking about animal testing. If the acts done to these animals is an obstacle in such a simple task such as adding pictures to a slideshow, which is why I surrendered to these easier to look at animations and pictures that don't truly depict the cruelties. These subjects are exposed to extreme conditions and some of the most torturous experiments. They are addicted to food, forced to inhale or ingest harmful substances, subjected to maternal deprivation, deafened, blind, burned, stapled, and infected with illness viruses, according to the Down to the Earth organization. This is just a small portion of what these animals must go through. Additionally, they are taken from their natural habitat and kept in small, isolated enclosures with little social interaction and without necessities like enough food or water. The worst thing is that only 3% of these animals seem to survive the test. Even though they get released into the wild, they tend to suffer greatly. All procedures, even those deemed mild, according to the International Animal Humane Society, have the potential to cause the animals physical as well as psychological anguish and suffering. These laboratory animals are extensively used in the medical field as well. Although many current diseases have been successfully treated thanks in large part to such animal research, these procedures have fallen out of date because we are constantly looking into fresh technologies and methods to enable more dependable and comparable studies. Many clinical studies even claim that the effects seen in animals don't always mirror those seen in people. Therefore, you'd assume there must be a better approach to obtain this data that doesn't cause harm to innocent, vulnerable animals while still advancing biomedical research. A biologist by the name of Geraldine Hamilton established my solution to this statement. Although cells have been employed in research before, their inability to function properly when removed from the body's natural environment is their biggest drawback. Geraldine's group has successfully developed a method to gather various human cells, arrange them on a chip, and then set them in a synthetic environment that is strikingly comparable to those present in the body. Moreover, enabling them to conduct crucial research-based experiments without endangering people or animals, so they are able to test new and revolutionary medical treatments. Here, I added an animation of Geraldine's chip showing just some of the types of organ cells they have used to run experiments on their chip. Geraldine's invention is only one of many new technologies being developed to help run and test biomedical research as well as keep innocent animals protected from immoral, unethical research. In conclusion, using animal experiments is an outdated practice. It is not worth removing animals from their natural habitat and subjecting them to greater physical, mental, and emotional pain than is necessary. With new and developing technologies, we will be able to conduct studies and progress society as a whole while allowing an increasing number of animals to live the lives they were intended to without being subjected to inhumane testing.
Yeah, thank you. A couple of questions. How valid and reliable are the sources you used? How do you know? And which sources didn't work?
The The sources that I used were all primarily medical or environmental organizations that focus on ethics of animal testing. I also used a lot of university pages that would use proven facts as well as published documents to help back their claims. However, I came across an organization that was more set up and published like a blog, and its claims seemed extremely biased and opinionated. And although that is still important, I wanted to use more authorized and factual sources.
Okay, thank you. Another question. What additional questions emerged from your research, and why are these questions important?
Some additional questions that emerged from my research mainly had to do with the cost of animal testing in comparison to my proposed solution. I was wondering if animal testing was the more affordable solution, and that's why people would tend to choose it. Another question I had was truly why people still depended so heavily upon animal experimentation for research when there are new options that have been proven to be more beneficial. These questions were important because they helped to open my mind to new ideas and dive deeper into my research.
Okay, thank you.